All right, so today's topic is social media graphics for beginners. My name is Emily Bauman, and I'm the communications manager at the St. Louis Community Foundation. I've been here for about a year and a half. This is my second Give STL Day. I've got a background in graphic design, so we're excited to be sharing some social media graphic info with you guys. This is an all new training for us based off of the feedback we received from participating nonprofits last year. So we hope you find it helpful. And I have with me today Greg Ampadu, our communications intern. Greg, do you want to introduce yourself? Greg, you're on mute. Try it one more time. Sorry, everybody. Greg and I are actually in the same room, so I'm not a great judge of if you're able to hear him or not. So if you could give a thumbs up if you can hear Greg.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead, Greg. Thank you, everybody.
Perfect. All right. How is everybody doing this afternoon? My name is Greg Ampadu. I'm an intern here at the St. Louis Community Foundation. I currently attend school at Webster University. I'm in the School of Communications. And I am very happy to be in front of you today to teach you all marketing and how to use social media graphics.
Thank you, Greg. All right, well, we will go ahead and get started with our presentation. Please feel free to put your questions in the chat as you think of them. We will be having a question and answer session at the end of the training. You're also welcome to put your name, your organization name, contact information in the chat as well, in case you have the opportunity to make any connections. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen, and as we all know, this doesn't always work. So bear with me for just a moment. All right, are you seeing the PowerPoint or the PowerPoint with the notes, Greg?
I am seeing just the PowerPoint.
Okay, great. That's what we were going for. Can everybody give me a thumbs up if you're seeing the blue PowerPoint slide? Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And Greg, can I have you go on mute just in case they can hear my voice in your headphones? Sure. Thank you. All right, go ahead and get going. So this is our agenda for today. As I mentioned earlier, the session is going to be recorded and we will be posting it on our website, so no need to take ferocious notes. First, we're going to go over tips for a successful social media graphic. We're going to review some real examples. Greg's going to talk about accessing the Canva templates and editing those templates. He's going to give you a live demo. He's also going to talk about how to download your files, and then we'll have our question and answer session. So first, what makes or breaks a good social media graphic? Sorry, people coming in the waiting room. So whenever you're creating graphics for your organization, think about the following and you're sure to be more successful. First, commit to readability. All your text and logos should always be easy to see and read. Think not only about size, but also about color contrast. Like, it's not a good idea to put a white logo on a light colored background. Make it eye-catching by using interesting photos with clear focal points, and think about adding in color when you can. This will help you tell a visual story, even if the person seeing your graphic hasn't actually read any of the accompanying text. You know how we all kind of just scroll and scroll and scroll and then stop if we see something interesting. So try and make your stuff eye-catching, but keep it on brand. Don't stray so far from what your organization normally puts out that your Give STL Day content isn't recognizable. And last, watch your placements. Don't place your logo or text so that it covers part of your subject, like over somebody's face or their smile, or if there's like words on a t-shirt. And worse yet, make sure that there's nothing running off your graphic. There's nothing worse than posting something and realizing that, you know, your logo is actually cut off or the last sentence of your text is cut off. So hopefully with these 4 quick tips, you'll be able to have more success in creating graphics. So now we're going to look at some real examples from last year that we thought were really successful. Now, if we don't have an example from your organization here, that doesn't mean you did a bad job. We just couldn't possibly highlight all of them. So first, these examples from Care to Learn and Every Child's Hope show that you can make simple changes to the templates that we provide to create something unique to your organization. In these examples, both organizations swapped a stock background photo for one from their libraries that matches their mission, and they added their logos. So you can see that everything's easy to read, the subject matter is clear, nothing's overlapping, and these photos have great energy, happy smiling kids. What's better than that? Sorry. So in these examples, all these organizations did a great job using the templates we provided, but adding their own text and logos. Everything's still readable, even though there's a lot of text on some of these examples, and they've provided information relevant to their organization's campaigns. You can see that Arch City Defenders integrated a couple different colors. MVT has added text in multiple places, as well as their color logo. And then Missourians for Alternatives to the Death Penalty made sure to include their giving link. So a lot of really great examples here that started out with what we've provided, and they just have been additive. So next, these organizations did not actually use any of the templates we provided. They did a great job combining the Give STL Day logo, which we provide to you in our resource library, with their own logo and then photos from their organizations. I think the common thread throughout all of these is that they have great energy, happy smiling faces, clear subjects, makes you excited, makes you want to know what the graphic is about. There's really only a few elements on each of these, a picture, some text, and a logo, but they're really effective. And then next, I wanted to show some of our very favorite examples from last year because people get really creative. I love this example from Cinema St. Louis. It's really striking and it's appropriate for their brand. It would have really stood out from other Give STL Day graphics, but it still conveys all the information that you need. They've got the date, they've got the time frame, they've got their logo, and they've got their Giving Day link. This example from Generate Health is just a lot of fun. The color on it is awesome. And by overlapping text and images and texture without sacrificing readability, they've created great energy. Plus, the Give STL Day logo in the bottom corner is still very clear and readable, even with everything else going on. Deaf Inc. and First Step Back Home both created graphics to provide their followers with information about power hours. This is a lot of text, but everything's still really easy to read. And since they included their Give STL Day profile link, we know exactly where to go to donate to them. And I'm sorry if you're seeing me admit people to the waiting room here. I'll try moving that to the other screen. These are examples that are more explicitly encouraging people to donate. You'll notice that all of these graphics are very colorful and really easy to read. Soulard Education Center posted updates during the Giving Day about their progress. This is a great visual to get people excited about helping your organization meet its match. And I love the color coding because it makes it really easy to understand where different donations are coming from. St. Louis Queer and Support Helpline made a graphic about the different donation levels on their profile, which is something optional that you can set up under your profile overview in the Give STL Day website. So for example, $15 funds 1 month of Zoom expenses, or $200 funds an hour of professional training. This gives people a really clear call to action of, oh, if I donate this much, this happens, and it really resonates with them. International Institute of St. Louis encouraged its audience to create a fundraiser in support of refugees and immigrants and told them exactly how to do it. So now that we've looked at some great examples, I thought it might be kind of fun if we looked at some fake unsuccessful examples and discuss why they aren't the best choices as well as how to fix them. So just want to reiterate, these are completely fake. I made them in Canva using only the free resources available on Canva. These are not real organizations or real examples. So here we have a graphic that's a super cute photo of a dog, and I've added the Give STL Day logo and Donate Today as a call to action. But I think we can all agree that it's a little bit hard to read the Give STL Day logo. It's overlapping the dog's eye. And even though I know that this organization wants me to donate today, it's kind of boring and it doesn't really entice me to take action. So what if we cropped the same photo of a dog differently to show the dog's whole face? We can move the Give STL Day logo and make it quite a bit bigger, and it's also more readable. We can pull in some color that coordinates with the photo and maybe make that a circle or a triangle, because it gives us a great spot to add some text in a readable script font, and maybe even a cute little free graphic from Canva, since the paw prints make sense. So in this example, I love that this is a really colorful photo, a lot of great color going on here, but the call to action is kind of hard to read. The contrast of donate on May 10th on top of the red isn't as high contrast as I would want it to be. And the logo is obstructing part of the photo, and it's right there in the foreground. So it's really distracting from what those kids are doing. So what we could do is choose a different photo that still shows kids, but they're happy and smiling and looking directly at the camera. We can put the Give STL Day logo and the text on a white background for readability, since this new photo is kind of busy. It's got a lot of color. We've kept the same call to action of donate on May 10th, but I've changed it to a font that subtly reminds me of the block text that I would have seen in elementary school. And now I even had space to add my organization's profile URL. So whoever's looking at this graphic knows exactly where to go to donate on May 10th. Next, I made a graphic because I wanted to do a countdown to Give STL Day, and I used a picture of a volunteer. But the text isn't readable, it overlaps the shirt, and it's just not very exciting. Honestly, you could take this as this person's like kind of mad, they've got their arms crossed, right? So what if we use the same photo, but zoomed out a little bit, added a bright color bar at the bottom, and another bright color for our countdown number? The text is readable, and so is the Give STL Day logo, and it's got some more positive energy happening now. So last, in this example, it's an organization that's trying to promote sustainability and recycling. This text isn't super hard to read, but the contrast of green on black isn't ideal. The Give STL Day logo is lost in the bushes, and the photo isn't super engaging because there's no point of focus. There's nothing to catch your eye. So what if I picked a different photo that actually shows someone using a recycling bin? I picked a different green color that matches the green in the photo and a script font that's easy to read. And I used the Give STL Day logo on a white background so that it stands out. So if you're struggling and you think your graphic could be better, but you don't know exactly where to start, try running through this list. Crop your photo differently, like in the dog photo example. Think about choosing a similar but different photo, like in the recycling example. Sorry, I think, yeah, it's just still animated, sorry. You might need to add a color block, like in the volunteer countdown example, or use another version of the Give STL Day logo, like in the example with the kids. And so that could be using the white version instead of the colored version, or the vertical version instead of the horizontal version, for example. And then you can always try different fonts for a little variety. So I hope you all found that helpful. I am going to go ahead and pass it over to Greg to go over our Canva templates. Greg, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that you can share.
Awesome. Can everybody see my screen? Give a thumbs up in the chat if you see the screen.
Not yet, Greg.
Greg, you're muted.
Sorry, just 1 second, everyone.
All right, can everybody hear me? Perfect. All right, good afternoon, everybody. Sorry about the technical difficulties we've been having today, but we are back, and I want to show you how to access our social media templates in the resource library on the Give STL Day site. So it's a very easy process to do. If you have any questions as I go through the process, feel free to leave them in the chat and we'll answer them at the end of the presentation. Now, if you click in the For Nonprofit section under the Give STL page, you should see resources. And once you click into that resources, it should bring you to this page over here. And in this page, you can access our Dropbox, you can access our Canva templates for the templates that we have. So for the purpose of this demonstration today, we'll go ahead and we'll work in the Canva template. Okay, so once you click into the Canva template, it should bring you to this page on my right. And this is how Canva looks when you open up the page. And on the Canva template, this is where you can access the template we created for you, and you can be able to move things around. You can do things such as changing colors, adding text boxes, adding your own logos. So it's a very user-friendly function to use in Canva. So once you click into Canva, it'll bring you to this page. And this is the page where you can create a new login, or you can use your previous credentials to log into Canva. Of course, you have Google, you have Facebook, and you have the email that you can access to create your login or log in with your previous credentials. Perfect. So once you're logged into Canva, it'll bring you to this page. Now I want to show you how to work in Canva. Now in the past, a lot of nonprofits have expressed how hard it was for them to use some of our templates. So we've created brand new templates and made it very user-friendly and super easy to use. So for this demonstration, I'll go ahead and share my screen and I will show you how to mess around in some of the templates that we created. In this demonstration, we'll go ahead and we'll create boxes, we'll mess around with different colors. I'll show you how to access stock photos in Canva and also show you how to upload your own photos in Canva. Okay, so we are in Canva and I've already created a copy of a graphic that we did previously. And of course, this is just a picture now, but once we add our magic to it, we can make it stand out and look absolutely great for use in your marketing and promotions. So one of the cool things about Canva is that we can create text boxes. We can create any kind of box in order to highlight your brand message and say exactly what you want your audience to see. So in order to create a box on Canva, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to elements. And the cool thing about Canva is that it allows you to create different lines, different shapes. You can create circles. It's very easy to get your thoughts out on a board. So for this example, for this presentation, let's say that we want to create a square box. We would simply click this box here, and it'll give us a nice blue square where we can customize and do many things as we please. So let's go ahead and stretch this box out. Maybe we don't like the color blue. We want to change the color. We can go into this section over here. And this gives us our color palette. And of course, you can change the color depending on your brand. You can go through the different colors. You see, very easy to go through and just decide on what you want to use. So for this example, let's say we want to keep a, let's go with green. Say we want a nice green box. So the good thing about Canva is that we can add text straight into this box. So let's say that we want a message, donate today. Donate today. Now, of course, as you can see, it's boring right now. It's very small. It doesn't look like it really pleases the eye. It doesn't really get out the message that we want. So we can customize it. And we can give it life. We can make it bigger. And we could even change the font right here. Let's say that we want a A nice bold font. That looks good. And now it's starting to look, a little better. Let's go ahead and make it a little bit bigger. Awesome. And of course, once you access our templates in Canva, we've given you access to our logo. So it's real easy for you to click and copy. So once you click into one of our logos, you'll see this icon that appears. And you could click into that and copy our logo. Click into this picture again, and you have our logo right there and there. So of course, you have the option to put in your own logo. So that's always there for you to access through your own. And let's see, what else do we want to do? I want to teach you how to add in stock images. So let's assume that you're not really satisfied with this picture right here and you want to add in a stock image from Canva. Canva gives you the option to get tons of different stock images to use royalty free. And depending on whether you're a paying member, you have access to even finer quality pictures. So in order to get rid of this picture, you will click on it, you'll right click, and you will click detach. And just like that, you now have access to move around the picture and you can delete it if you want. So let's say you want to find one of the stock images that Canva has. You would go to you'll go to search elements. And let's say we want a photo community. Once we search into community and we go into photos, Canva has their stock images right here. And let's say we want this picture right here. It gives us the option to put that picture right on our board. We can reshape it. We can do that. Uh-oh, now as you have seen, something has happened. We've blocked out this block of text. That's no problem at all, because one of the good things about Canva is you can click on these three dots right here, and you can bring it to front. And just like that, it is now in the front of the text, in the front of the picture. And we'll go ahead and drag that box. And just like that, we have the beginnings of our poster that we want to use. So again, very customizable, very easy to use, super simple and easy. And just let's say that, for example, you don't want to use a stock image. You have the option of using your own photo in Canva, and that's a pretty easy process as well. You'll simply go to uploads. It'll allow you to upload files. And once you click into that, it'll give you the option to put in your own image from your computer. So again, depending on where your picture is on your computer file, you can go to uploads and you can add something. So for us, for our example, let's see what this picture is. It'll allow us to click in a picture and happy birthday St. Louis popped up. And fun fact, yesterday was St. Louis's birthday. So it's a good day for our St. Louisans. So it popped up the happy birthday St. Louis, and we can click into that. And just like that, we're able to put our own image on Canva. So very easy process, very straightforward. Awesome. Perfect. I'll go back to the PowerPoint, and Emily, do you want to take over, or? All right, I'll stop sharing my screen and I'll let Emily take over.
All righty. All right, can you guys see my screen? Someday, Zoom will work the way we want it to. All right, so last but not least, we just wanted to make sure that you all had the handy link to our Give STL Day resource library that Greg mentioned earlier. You can find that at givestlday.org. Go to the For Nonprofits header in the top navigation bar, and then go down to resources. This is where you're not only going to find the link to our Dropbox library full of materials for you to use, but you'll also find the direct links to the Canva templates, which Greg created. And big shout out to Greg for the great job that he did on those, especially making them a lot easier for you all to use this year. So if you have any questions after this training, you can always either email me or email Greg. Our email address is right here. Or if it's easier for you to remember, info@stlgives.org. That'll get to us one way or another. If you just have a general Give STL Day question, for the fastest response, we suggest that you use the blue support button in the bottom right corner of your screen at the Give STL Day website. That'll ping our friends at Neon One. They're our platform provider for Give STL Day, and they are super fast. They're usually getting back to people, same day, if not like same hour sometimes. They just have more staff available, a whole support team to answer your questions throughout the day. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. I know that we had one question in the chat that came through, and you all are welcome to go ahead and drop more questions in the chat or come off mute and we can discuss some things. So Erin had a great question and asked, will the templates make it clear how much copy is recommended? Which social platforms use the 1/3 rule? And Erin, if I'm understanding you correctly, there used to be a rule on Facebook that your graphics should not contain more than 20% of text or they would be rejected as advertisements. This actually no longer exists. Facebook did away with this in, I don't know, at least it was in 2021 that they did away with this. It's still kind of a good guideline not to have a massive wall of text on your graphic. I try to keep it to no more than 1/3 of a graphic with text on top of it. But like, for example, if you really want to, Greg, can I have you go on mute? I'm hearing myself in your headphones. Sorry, guys. Like I said, we're in the same floor together. Greg, you're not on mute. Thank you. So if you need a graphic that has more text, like if you want to do the whole power hour list, that's totally fine. But there is no actual rule on any of the social media platforms that will cause your graphic to be rejected because of the amount of text on it. And then Patricia pointed out in the chat that Canva, the premium version, is actually free for nonprofits as well. There is a validation thing that they do for that. You do have to provide them with some documentation, but it's a very straightforward process. And then you have access to a really great, varied library of resources, not only photos, but also shapes and icons, and even some animated resources. Okay, Greg Hope asked in the chat, once we have created in Canva, how do we export to our social media? So you won't actually export directly to your social media channels. The first thing you're going to do is download your graphic from Canva and then upload it to your social media channels separately. And I would be happy to share my screen to go ahead and just give a quick example of how to do that. Let me just get it pulled up. And if anybody else has questions in the chat, go ahead and drop them in. Oh, thank you, Katie. Katie pointed out that in Canva Pro, you can post directly to social or scheduled posts. That is not something the Community Foundation uses, so I did not know about that. So thank you very much for sharing. All righty, can everybody see my Canva screen? All right, so I'm just back in those templates here that Greg was showing us before. And Canva has a couple different ways that you can do this. So you can download all of your graphics at once, or you can do them as one-offs. So all you do is go here under Share. And it looks like this is actually the same place that you go to share on social. So thank you to the person who pointed that out. If you do want to know more about that, I know that Canva has a great resource library of its own on their website. So under download, you'll want to choose probably an image type, a JPEG or a PNG. If you've added animated elements to your graphic, you'll want to do a GIF or a GIF, however you prefer to pronounce it, so that your animation shows up. But I'm just going to do a PNG, and then you can see here I can choose all pages. I can click out off of that and just choose a few different pages. Or the way I usually end up doing it is actually typing in the page number. So if you just do 1, that's going to download just by itself. And you can see here now it's in my downloads and I can open it up. And I am on a Mac if this looks different from what you're expecting, but it'll show up in your downloads folder on your My Documents window if you're on a PC. Or if you download multiple pages, I'm just going to do 2 of them so that it doesn't take too long. This is actually going to download as a zip file. So when I open that, my computer will unzip it and then I can open that folder and I can see both of the graphics that I downloaded at once. So if you do all of them at once and you download all of them at once, then they'll all be saved in the same folder. I usually end up doing them as one at a time because I don't like having to unzip everything. I'm rarely ready to download, 20 graphics all at once, that kind of thing. While I have Canva open, does anybody else have any Canva specific questions that they might be able to come off mute to ask about? Okay, I will take that as a no, and I'm going to stop sharing so that I can see the chat again. Okay, I'm not seeing any more questions coming through. Greg, is there anything else you would like to add to our training today?
Yeah, I think that is pretty good, unless we have any other questions from anyone in regards to Canva. I think we should be pretty good then, Emily. What do you think? A question has come in. Someone is asking, how can we add a link to post donations?
So Peggy, I think what you're asking is how can you add your Give STL Day profile URL to your social media post? And that's super easy. So whenever you're on the Give STL Day website, whenever you sign up and you're editing your profile, you're able to self-identify a unique URL for your organization. Like, for example, www.givestld.org/St. Louis Community Foundation. So you can just copy that link. That'll go directly to your organization's profile and paste that into your social media posts. You're welcome. We never know how long Q&A is going to go on these kinds of things. So if there aren't any other questions, we can give you back 26 minutes of your afternoon. If you think of something later, you're always welcome to reach out to us. We are here to help everything Give STL Day related. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. We'll stay on for a couple more minutes in case anybody thinks of any other questions. But then we will also be headed out. So thank you for your time today.